Today we're out here in the Foothills in one of the coolest communities for those of you who are an outdoor enthusiast.
When you hear Boise Foothills, you probably think luxury, exclusivity, $1 million plus homes. But what if we told you there's a master plan community right here in the Foothills with 100+ miles of private trails, full fitness center, pool, retail space on the way, all starting in the low 500s.
And in this video, we're not gonna just look at one house, we're gonna look at three, going through price points, the design features, the sizes, and we're gonna give you 3 different price points to take a look at. And stay for the end where we go over that house in this introduction that is absolutely outstanding.
And it's not just about the homes, it's about the lifestyle. We're gonna dive into what sets this community apart, why people from all over Boise and Meridian are coming out here to call their new home, and what to expect for pricing, amenities, and long-term value.
So stick with us, because by the end of this video, you're gonna see how truly amazing this community is and just how much it fits the true Idaho lifestyle. And then of course, stay for the end, because this house that we tour at the end is honestly one of the coolest and really most expensive houses we've toured on this channel yet. So it's something that you really just have to see because it is just that cool. But let's dive into Avimor. Okay, now we're out here at the first house that we're gonna tour, which is one of the more affordable ones. And as we're walking into home number 1, just a reminder that here at Boise Real Estate Insights, we're really here to provide you guys, especially those of you who are Boise locals. It's still valuable for those of you relocating, but we're here to provide you guys information. Obviously in this video, we are gonna tour a really awesome house at the end, but we're here to show you guys what's realistic, what's actually valuable for you guys buying or selling in the Boise area. And we really want to be real estate agents that build relationships. We're not here to just buy and sell you a house. And so it's a long-term thing. Reach out early to get a plan in place. And even if you do buy or sell with us, afterwards, we're there for the long-term too, so.
Yeah, and again, just giving you guys as much info on all the different aspects of the Treasure Valley real estate. Even if you live here, you might not have been up in Avimor community or seen what it's all about. And maybe you're not even thinking about buying or selling, but now you have the resources, tools, and information. So when that time does come, you can get it done a little bit faster or know a little bit more going into it. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll step into home number 1. These homes down here are Tresidio, which is, you guys have seen us tour Tresidio on the channel a number of times. They're one of our favorite builders. This floor plan in particular is their model home. And this is like a mini version of one of their most popular ones where you have kind of the Spanish style entryway, which I love.
Yeah, it's nice having a little bit of privacy from the driveway out there, but the Marigold floor plan is what we're walking through right now. I mean, for out here in this section of Avimor, this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom size is gonna be pretty common. And of course, this one being the model home, it's slightly upgraded, which will point out some of those differences.
Yeah, and as we tour this house, keep an eye out on the homes and things in the homes. So we do a giveaway on this channel, so we'll give away some coffee gift cards at the end, but you need to keep an eye on the houses. That's the only hint we'll give you for now.
Maybe even take some notes.
Yep.
I'm just saying, that $5 coffee gift card, that goes a long way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes I get generous, I'll send you 15.
Hey, oh what?
Just depends how I'm feeling that day.
Yeah.
But here, right off the bat, we're in the Marigold, so
This
house is gonna be 3 bedrooms, 1,600 square feet.
17, just over 1,700.
Just over 17. So we'll take a look at the kitchen and the living room here in a second. That's one of my favorite parts. And then the master bathroom is really cool. But
yeah, it's a good setup.
Right here off the front, they have the den, which is nice. And we'll talk about how you can build with Tresidio too, but this is an option where if you do build with them, you don't necessarily have to have the den option. You can make this into an actual room. Great spot for office. You get the high ceilings in here as well with the nice light fixture. And then right here down this hallway is where your first spare bedrooms are.
And I like this is what's kind of unique. And again, this is kind of the smaller condensed version of one of their coolest floor plans. Having this wing, it just feels separate. Like you have your own hallway over to your guest bedroom. The larger floor plan that they have would have like 2 guest bedrooms here, and some of them even have like a flex space. But it just breaks it up. It doesn't feel like the typical, you walk in the door, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom right in the middle. Like this is just a little bit more unique than.
Yeah, how many houses do we walk in the front door and we
dozen,
tell you guys,
a dozen
here's
a
the same
week.
house, here's the 2 bedrooms up front. So yeah, it is nice to have.
Which nothing wrong with that, but we see dozens of homes every week, so it's like, hey, this is pretty cool. And if you had guests come over, they'd probably be interested, like, ooh, I want a tour of this. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. So,
yeah, and I love this floor plan too, because you get these windows in the hallway. So
Yep.
it brings in that natural light, makes the house feel a lot more open, which is great. Bathroom there.
Yeah. And again, model home, this one having full tile, you know, really large, nice insert here. But again, with Tricidio, you do have the opportunity to custom build or semi-custom build. So what you see, you could realistically build, or they do have quick move-in homes, even in this community, available to buy right now if you're not, you know, if you don't have the timeline to plan out a custom build and find a lot and pick out your floor plan, things like that.
Yeah, and obviously sometimes building is more advantageous for those of you who need to sell your house, or if you are watching and you're relocating here, then that's where it really is an advantage, because it makes it so much less stressful to build a house, have 6 or 7 months to sell your house, get moved here, all those things. But we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through the house. But bedroom number 1 in this house, this bedroom's really big. You can almost utilize this as like a mother-in-law kind of junior suite with that full bath up front. And having the tall ceilings in here with the 2 windows is, just fantastic. And they have this staged really well. Yeah,
yep, tall ceilings, the 8-foot door frames and closet. So it, you know, everything just feels a little bit larger when you have those big open spaces.
Yep. And this is hidden, but behind the door, there's another window here that was from the entryway. Cool. So brings even more natural light in here.
But yeah, even through the main hallway here, still have the tall ceilings, have a little bit of a, you know, a separation here as you go into the great room, which again goes back up to the taller ceilings. And of course, now that we're in here, the Tricidio trademark trade ceiling with the beams. You know, they have that, and it might just be every single home, but at least 90% of their homes. And it's a really cool look. People love that stuff, and it really helps set this room apart. So you might have an open concept, but sometimes this differentiation of levels and heights actually helps to separate the space a little bit. So you're like, oh, this is the living room, and it clearly defines it. So it's a cool way to add walls without actually having walls. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and if Tricidio doesn't have the vaulted ceiling, they have this in every one, and sometimes it's the wood beam, sometimes they paint it black, sometimes it's just still the white drywall. Obviously when you build, you can do whatever option you want. And then the classic Tricidio fireplace too in here, which is great, especially up here in Avimor. Because in Avimor, this community feels a little bit more cabiny, like we are in the mountains, right? And so having a cozy home, I think, fits with the lifestyle and everything that comes with Avimor. Having the view of the foothills behind you. I remember a few months ago, I was out here filming, and there was a fox that ran across the front.
That's cool.
And at first I saw a cat, and then there was a fox behind it, and the fox was, I think, trying to kill the cat.
That's a warning. If you're out here, definitely keep your animals in, but it's not like unsafe for you know, bigger animals or kids, of course. It's just your cat might have some enemies.
Exactly. But still speaks to that just kind of cabiny, cozy feel out here. And so these floor plans that we're in right now that are along this street with Tricidio are all really cozy. They're all a little bit on the smaller side. The second house that we look at will be a step up, a little bit bigger in the 2,000 square foot range. And then of course at the end, just the awesome house, especially the backyard is outstanding.
Yeah, that thing is crazy.
We'll go through all of the different options in here, which again, we're here to give you guys all of the options, all of the information. And then of course in home 2, we're gonna really dive deep into Avimor specifically, because even if you're local and you've heard of Avimor, the odds are you haven't heard or even know about some of the things that are coming to Avimor and what this is actually gonna be. I know there's a few things that we'll talk about that aren't on the website that are brand new announcements, and so we'll talk about those as we go through home 2, but want to showcase home number 1 first, because these homes are just great.
Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, for those that watch our channel, Brady and I are in front of the camera together. We're not magic. We have Grant back here filming for us, which is good. So you get to deal with both of us now, and hopefully that's a good thing. But
and we'll embarrass Grant and put him on camera every once in a while, and you'll hear him talk. But we're excited for Grant to be here, and hopefully if any of you guys reach out, we'll get the opportunity to have you guys meet Grant too. He's amazing. So. Here in the kitchen too, this model home, they did upgrade quite a bit. So I love that they did this full
that looks
quartz
awesome.
slab as backsplash. It gives it a really nice look. We have the tall ceilings. For this size of a home at 1,700 square feet, the size of the pantry you get is absolutely outstanding. And to have the outlets in here too, to get, you know, your coffee machine or your air fryer away from cluttering up your kitchen is absolutely great. But this pantry is really good size for a 1,700 square foot house.
Yep, and that's something that, I mean, maybe in other areas too, probably, but definitely out here, pantry space is an important one, and we've talked about it with another builder coming in that to really improve their homes, it happens to be add a little bit more pantry space because people are really looking for that. So a 1,700 square foot home with a true walk-in pantry, I mean, this is a really good design. But even, like you mentioned, even the quartz stone in this little coffee nook goes all the way to the top, with the cool little pendant light up there. So again, this is upgraded, but you could replicate this because you are able to make some design selections and floor plan selections if you custom build. For sure, yeah. And as we walk into the master, this is where Avimor, we're gonna go through pricing and show you guys like how you can actually get out here for a really affordable price. But it's nice to know that if you do want the option to spend more and build with Tresidio or some of the other builders out here, you do have that as an option, right? You can upgrade it to a home like this, or you can keep it base. And one nice thing about Tresidio that we talk about is that even their base model, so with no upgrades, just the base price, you still get the granite countertops, you still get the nice cabinetry, you still get the nice flooring. So it's not like their base models are like some of the starter home builders where it's, you know, laminate and very
vinyl.
bare.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing too, like, and this is the case for all builders. When you say base model or, you know, the entry-level pricing, the construction's still the same. So it's not like they're giving you less insulation in terms of the required insulation areas. They're not doing different wood for framing, things like that. You're just interior finishes are usually downgraded or not upgraded essentially. So you get a solid home from all these builders at the base level. You just might not have all the fancy touches.
Exactly. Yeah. It's more just aesthetic and like if you want the higher ceilings, you want the quartz countertops with nicer backsplash or appliances. But here in the master, as we were talking, this master for a 1,700 square foot house is really good size. Yeah, for sure. Yep. And then go ahead. Out here in Avimor too, having these windows to see the foothills, which are green right now. So the reality is
enjoy it now.
Only a couple months out of the year do you get the green foothills. And then of course in the winter when you get snow out here, it's really beautiful too. But to have that in Avimor is important, I think, is these big windows that Tresidio offers. And the extra touches, you know, you could have someone do that after the fact or possibly, you know, upgrade it in the design center. But I really like this layout for those of you that kind of want, you know, your bathroom and master bedroom a little bit separate, because a lot of times it just kind of flows all in one. This one's kind of cool because the bathroom is offset from the bedroom a little bit, so you truly are separate in this little section than the main bedroom. And for a 1,700 square foot home, let's see what Brady's this is Brady approved for sure. I mean,
should we get a sticker and like just Brady approved? And,
and leave them in the houses?
Leave them in the house. And Bill's like, what is this?
But no, I mean, obviously it's not a huge shower, but for 1,700 square feet.
It's pretty big though. I mean.
I guess I'm a big guy, so I need something bigger. But yeah, to have the stool, they did this, I love this little accent wall that they did here. Obviously this model home they've upgraded a lot of their things, but yeah, definitely Brady approved. Cool. And love that they have the window in here too. That is an upgrade option. And this is one of the things that if you do build a house, strongly suggest putting the extra windows in your bathroom. That's one where it seems like it might not matter as much, but personally in my house right now, we're regretting not putting that window in. I've seen other clients do it because at night or when it's darker out, it just feels like a dungeon in the bathroom, especially the master. So
and that's what's fun too, like, you know, and I won't speak for Brady, but for myself, I'm not, you know, my expertise is not design with colors and, you know, palettes and things like that. But in those design center meetings that we're able to attend with our clients, we can help to kind of talk through those, like, hey, save $300 on the tile. You don't necessarily need that really cool look or that cool texture. Add that window and you're gonna be super happy you did. So that's where you can get a little bit of feedback if maybe the design center people don't have that experience. But Other than that, you know, colors and material selection, I'll leave that to the clients.
No, leave that to me.
Oh, to you? Oh, okay.
I'm the home designer in our household.
There you go.
I'm no expert.
The
Tricidio or any of these builders, their design people are going to be better at it, but half joke there. And
that's funny.
With that too, like, that's the benefit of us having, 40 clients plus people on the team, is we get all of the back end information from buyers. Is they move into houses, they wish they did this, they wish they did that, and so we can see the foresight that some people can't see, and that's what we're here for. So
I know that's true. I mean, even for like my listing presentations, when I meet with people, one of the main questions I ask is, if you were to stay here, what would you change? And getting that feedback on all these different homes is so important, especially as we work with buyers, because now we can comment, oh yeah, this works extremely well, or yeah, it might look cool, but that actually doesn't work very well. We've had feedback that, maybe this feature isn't needed or is a waste, and we can help provide that information for those that maybe haven't lived in, 5+ homes and have that experience of what they truly need.
For sure.
But back to the home.
And then with the 1,700 square feet to get this walk-through
really
laundry
cool.
room, great. Tracidio's been going more towards that. And then we will take you in the garage because somebody commented and said we're not men if we don't tour the garage.
You got to show every garage.
Yep, got to show our masculinity.
And it's not
apparently.
a sales office, so we can actually go in it.
Yep. But 2-car garage with these homes down here. Obviously, as we go up, as we look at the second house, and then the third house has a giant garage, of course. For these homes down here, you get the 2-car garage. Tricidio usually does extend them, so it is a little bit longer, but this is what your 2-car garage would look like.
Yeah, and that's where Tricidio, being more that mid to upper tier, not necessarily entry-level builder, you have the bigger garages. And we're probably spoiled out here, and plus we see insane garages on a weekly basis. But this is a bigger 2-car garage than most people are used to, especially if you're out of state. And in this case, for this home, really tall ceilings. I mean, you have tons of storage potential up here, and you could truly fit 2 cars, have storage and walkway, have a half gym set up. So this is a good sized 2-car garage.
Oh, for sure, and those tall ceilings for those storage that hang from the studs in the ceilings. Yeah, plenty of room in here. You do get the tankless water heater in here, which is great. And Tricidio does that, I'd say, in a lot of their homes. So pretty standard with Tricidio. But that is home number 1. Now we're gonna head to home number 2, which is slightly up the mountain, a little bit bigger. So we'll take a look at that one. And then of course, stay for the end because that house is absolutely outstanding, especially the backyard landscaping, which you guys got to see a little bit of a glimpse, but you didn't get to see all of it. And keep it an eye on the house. Keep track of things. So
win that coffee.
Yep, let's head to home number 2. Okay, now we're up here at home number 2. We're going up the hill, so eventually we'll be all the way up at the top here to show you guys some scale. But first,
Brady, what's your one-look review of this?
So one-look review. So Grant's going to be asking us what our one-look review is. We're going to base the initial review off of just what I think quality-wise, price-wise, out of 10, what the home's going to be. And then once we tour the house, Jesse's going to either roast me or tell me I'm right and see what the actual review
I believe
will
in
be.
you. I think you'll be right most of the time, but we'll see.
So for this one look, I'm going to give it like an 8.2.
8.2.
I think it's going to be a cool house. We're up here. The price point is fair. So we'll see what it is at the end.
Let's go take a look.
Yep. So another Tricidio. This one's going to be slightly bigger at 1,800 square feet, so about 100 square feet bigger.
Yeah, but much bigger lot. So this home is wider, so it's going to feel a lot bigger than the last one inside. And even the courtyard is like twice the size. But the home size is very, very similar.
Yeah, and this will be a really good example for you guys watching of when we talk about you come with criteria to buy a house and you say, I want an 1,800 square foot house. This will be a really good example of what 1,800 square feet versus 2 houses can feel a lot different.
Oh, yes.
Like we'll tour this house and you guys will probably feel that. So keep that in mind, but we'll walk through. And again, through this house, we're going to talk about some of the things with Avimor that I think a lot of people don't even know. So we're going to give you guys some of the insights to what this community is, especially for those of you who are local, who have heard of Avimor. You kind of know about it, but what it truly does entail, because I mean, it really is like the Idaho lifestyle for you guys who are outdoors, especially with some of the stuff coming. We were just looking at the plan development for the rest of it, so we'll talk through that. But
and what's recent, you know, within the last year or two, is other builders are coming out here. So Tresidio, obviously, which we're walking through again, that wasn't the case when Avimor first started. You know, a builder like Tresidio wasn't out here, so even if you have heard about it, it's completely different now because there's significantly more options, just even in the homes themselves.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and then I mean, right up here off the bat, you guys can see it's the same design style. So we have the hallway around the corner with the windows, but even when you walk in, it just feels
the
like
hallway's
a
bigger,
house, right? And it's not staged. And as a reminder, when you stage a house, it feels bigger than when it's not staged. It's counterintuitive, so it feels bigger without the staging in place.
Yep. But yeah, like Brady mentioned, the wing this way, so you have your office den. This one doesn't have the glass doors, so I mean, it truly could be a bedroom if that's more important than an office space. And then the big windows through this hallway looking out to that front courtyard, which is really cool. And then nothing too crazy here. Really good sized bedroom. Honestly, probably about darn near the same as the last home. The one difference structurally in this one is you don't have the 8-foot door frames. You have your standard 6, 9, 7-foot door frames. So
it's close.
Brady grows his hair out any longer. He's gonna be brushing it. So again, a slight change, but that's where, depending on what home you want, where you want to be, and what your budget is, you can play with those things to make it hit your budget. If you want to have a smaller footprint but have all the upgrades, you can do that with a builder like Tresidio, or keep it more base level, but have have an amazing home in the perfect area up here in the foothills and then still hit your budget.
Yep, exactly, And so with this floor plan, you do have the bedroom up front. You still have that full bath. The office, which is similar to the last house, is just here in the corner versus in the hallway. And then you have this nice kind of area for entryway, which I do like, and they even gave you the higher ceilings in here to open it up. And then walking into this hallway, your laundry room is actually right here. So you don't get the walkthrough, but laundry's here, garage is there. So good sized laundry room, but just in a different place than I think we're used to seeing.
Yep. Yeah, a lot more angles in so far these homes. Not all of the Tresidio's homes are gonna have that wing there. Some of them are gonna be more traditional where you walk in and you have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom up front. But so far the 2 floor plans we've walked through here have a little bit more of those angles and 40 or 45-degree walls and things like that. So it just feels a little different. And obviously in this area, this would be the highlight. So we're not saving anything for last in this one.
Nope. This is the coolest part of this house. I mean, obviously, when Tresidio does the vault, it looks amazing. You still get the beams up top. Most of the time, their fireplace is just like this, where it goes from the floor all the way up to the 15-foot vault, and just makes it feel really grand. And what we love about this one in Avimor specifically is we're up here higher now, so price points are going to go up, even though it's a fairly similar priced home. But you don't get like the craziest views like we're going to see in the first house, but you do get a view here and over here, so you at least are seeing the mountains and you feel like you're in the outdoors, which speaks to what I think we'll start talking about, which is the lifestyle and the community that Avimor offers and some of the things. So, I mean, there's the obvious, right? There's the hiking trails. So there's 100 miles of hiking trails. There's the OTV or off-road vehicle trails. So they have trails designated for those of you who want your side-by-side or your four-wheelers to go rip around in the foothills, which is great because we don't have any communities where it's like built into the community.
Nothing like that. And especially to have it separate, so you could be walking your dogs or your kids and not have to be like, oh, a side-by-side's coming, let's go hike up the hill, get out of the way. They're 2 separate miles or 2 separate trail systems. So you can rip up the mountain on your side-by-side and not have to worry about, oh, there's people walking right next to me, which is cool.
So the trails, obviously the foothills and the views. You do have a fishing pond in Avimor as well to kind of key in on more of that outdoor stuff. The community center in Avimor is one of the coolest. One of the key features, it has an indoor pool. So you can, even in the winter time, you can go there, swim, do laps. And I know also Avimor has a ton of classes. So they, on their community website, you can sign up for classes. One of those might be like, you know, water basket weaving, the classic, right? But they do have like fly tying, they have knitting classes, and it's pretty much every week they have a new class at the community center, which is where Avimor, I think, is a true community. Like when we say community all the time, but when you think of the actual word community, this is one of those where that is the case. You have the school in here, you have those classes, the people that live out here. Every time I'm out here, there's always people walking dogs, and we're here in Idaho, so obviously people are friendly, and you get to know your neighbors and things like that. So
yeah, it's one of those where it used to be kind of a love-hate because there wasn't a lot of other stuff out here. So if you were here, this was like the ideal landscape and setting for you. Now that there's so much amenities coming, even if you aren't someone that's going to go hike the foothills every single day, there's so much other things here for people that this area has turned into a true residential community with the prior, you know, community aspects where you get to know your neighbor, you go to these classes, you start to meet people, you go to the local brewery or the local little shop and gas station down there and start to truly know your neighbors. But it's so much more than just the outdoor lifestyle.
For sure.
But that's obviously the biggest appeal.
Yeah, because they have the bar and grill that most people know about, but now where they're moving is they're kind of ramping up again the development side of things. So in the first house that we were at, right next to it, they're going to be putting in, for those of you who know, the brewery mixed with the dog park downtown Boise. They're going to be putting in one of those there. And then we were looking at the map of all of the other commercial space that they're going to have. So they're going to have breweries, restaurants. I think they're going to be putting like a more grocery style center out here as well. They're going to have an exotic car dealership, which is funny, but also it's cool, right? Like unique to have that out here. They're going to have more schools. So they have the one already, but they are going to build more schools with the new developments. They're already in the process of starting their indoor-outdoor shooting range, which is great to have the indoor option in the wintertime, and then also just obviously have the outdoor option. So again, that outdoor lifestyle and something that is new to Avimor is having that. So tons of stuff coming into it. And then for those of the people who worry about the highway going up to McCall, because I'd say most of you guys who are local, you know Avimor driving up to McCall. You see it on the way up here. Eventually, we don't know how long it will take, but they're turning that highway into a scenic highway, and then they're going to develop a whole new highway to get to McCall where everybody else will go. So over time, that highway will be a lot less busy.
For sure. And I mean, honestly, unless you're closer to it, which, you know, the first section of Avimor is a little bit closer to the highway. Where we're at now, you can't see or hear any of that. So realistically, I'd say majority of the homes, obviously you go up in the higher price points, but you aren't affected by that at all in terms of noise or traffic, and they have the light there, of course. So not a huge downside, but if you are closer, then yeah, there's some traffic there, especially in the summers.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll finish touring the house, and then we'll go over the price points and sizes, because that's an important one. That's the reason we're out here, right? I think some people who are local who don't completely know about Avimor don't realize how really, honestly, affordable it is to get, especially into the lower section. And we were kind of making a joke that, you know, if you want to live up the hill with the kings, then it's going to be costly, but with the peasants down low, you know, it's cheaper. But it is a really cool section down there. You still get the views.
And all the amenities. That's where, I mean, there's the saying, you know, buy the cheapest, smallest house in the community, and you'll probably have better appreciation than the nicest, fanciest one. And that would be a case for that, because you get everything. You just have a better, you know, more affordable home, and still a solid property. But,
so we'll talk about that at the end of this house. But while we were talking, I'm looking out the windows, and like I feel like I'm at my cabin.
Yeah, this is cool.
Like you feel like you're in the mountains. And another thing about Avimor is, so 60% of it cannot be developed. So what you see that is open space will always remain open space, which is nice to know that, you know, in 10 years they're not going to come in and then put more houses. It's what you get is what you see. So
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, you're not going to ever have a home built into this very steep hillside, even if they wanted to.
Yeah, it'd be a little tough. We'll actually walk outside for this one just so you guys can get a better look. And with your studio, you do always get the covered patio, I'd say, for the most part. It just varies in size. This one is bigger than the first house we looked at. and then obviously just this view. And we can kind of take a step down. They did grade this out down here just to, I think, make it a little bit more user-friendly for when you do move into the house, but gives you guys an idea of, like, you're in the foothills. You can see the hiking trails up there.
Yep.
All of the things to do in the outdoors. You can literally walk out your back door
and just wander,
hike over and get on the hiking trails. So
yeah, and obviously animals are gonna, you know, be coming through here. You get a lot of the wildlife, but I mean, for the most part, you're just not surrounded by homes, and that's where we're seeing people, a lot of people actually in Boise, in Meridian, in great communities coming out here to kind of leave the suburban lifestyle, even though you're only, you know, a few minutes up the road from it.
Yep.
But you're out here literally in the foothills, and it's such a different feeling. And then one thing too, actually, I know most of you are waiting for the end for the amazing, beautiful home we're gonna see, but also if you're truly looking at Avimor, we're gonna share a few things of potentially why some people, even some of your specific clients, thought they were gonna like it out here, but didn't. So there, of course, there are some downsides. Not necessarily are they gonna be relevant to everyone, but we'll share a few things that might be a potential con for you know, living in a place like this. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Kitchen, I mean, classic Presidio look. This is what they all look like. You have the same size pantry. Pretty much similar to everything, just not quite as upgraded. You have more of a normal backsplash, the lower end appliances than the last house we saw, but other than that,
yeah,
pretty similar to everything.
Kitchen's
and then it's right off the master. So a little bit different entryway and different location of the master. I personally kind of like it right off the kitchen. Not a huge master, but again, this room isn't staged, so it looks a little bit smaller than it actually is. But I love that they gave this house, which is move-in ready. You guys can buy this house, both of these. The first, like, they gave you all these windows, so you have a view of these mountains in your master, which is crazy.
Love that. And even the extra window there, just off to the patio, it's just substantially more natural light, and you'd feel like you're a part of it.
Yeah, we don't even have the lights on in here.
Oh yeah, didn't even realize. not much of a
make
difference. Yeah.
And then, it goes into your master bathroom. And this is a good example of not having the window where the mirror is. So you can't have it in this floor plan, but you can feel how much darker it is in this master. Thankfully, they did give you one in the toilet room and then one in the shower. And then this is not your, I guess, the same as we saw last time. This is more of the classic Presidio walk-in shower with the full tiling around the corner. And then your closet is just right off the master. Nothing crazy. It's pretty good size. It's not small. It's not super large. So this is home number 2. Now we're going to talk about pricing in this community. We're going to talk about the cons of Avimor first, because like Jesse said, I've had 2 clients come out here now. When you come out here, you see the foothills, you see everything going on, and you fall in love with Avimor, and people are like, yep, I'm sold, I wanna live in Avimor. And then they sit on it for a night and they think about it and they've changed their mind. The reasons for that are, a lot of times, it's one of 2 things. It's the fire hazards out here, which we're gonna talk about, and then it's the distance to Boise. So right now, we don't have the grocery stores in Avimor, and you are 10 minutes into Eagle and 35, 45 minutes into downtown Boise. So we are out here a ways in the mountains, which it's the benefit of Avimor is being out in the mountains, and part of that is you have to be farther from Boise. So those are the 2 big things I'd say we see. The fire risk, for those of you, if you're watching from California, or you move from California to Boise, you're used to how California handles things. So there is fire risk out here, just being in the foothills. Thankfully, we don't have like trees or anything, so it's not quite as much, but Boise does handle it. There's literally a fire department out in Avimor, so that's already there. We have more water, we have more preparation. They make sure that it is fire friendly. So a lot of these houses, you won't see a ton of landscaping. It's more rock and small bushes. And that is to keep that fire risk down as well. But they also maintain the foothills and make sure that it is fire safe.
Yeah, it's an education piece that they even help educate homeowners on the spacing between the homes, the materials that are used in the homes, and again, the water supply, of course, especially after the unfortunate tragedy in California over the last year or so. There is water feeding the hydrants continuously, and there is a fire department here. It's not necessarily it looks like we're in a rural area because we are out in the foothills, but it's not like a rural fire department, no volunteers. It is a fire department. So, you know, we can see the concern, but realistically, it's not going to be much different than any of your other areas that are just on the edge, you know, that aren't in the center of town.
Yeah, I'd say the only difference is you will have a higher insurance premium buying out here. It's nothing crazy, but it is something that you guys do need to know about if you're looking at Avimor. And then the distance to things, obviously, over time, more development will come out here, and that won't be as much of a worry, especially as Eagle grows. And I know the plan kind of is eventually, for those of you who have watched our Valnova video, is to kind of connect these two communities at some point too. So as Boise grows, the amenity thing won't be as much of an issue. You're gonna have things closer.
Sure.
Which then leads us into price, and really the whole reason we're out here, right, is you think of Avimor, you think of everything that we've talked about, and it can feel like to live in the Boise foothills, it's gonna be too expensive, too luxurious, I can't afford it. But the first house we looked at, that's the model home, so it'll be a little bit more expensive, probably in the low to mid 600,000s. But that floor plan for their base prices are starting in the low to mid 500,000 range. And if you don't go new construction, there's alley load homes in here in the 400,000s.
That's awesome.
So to live out in the foothills, to get all of the amenities that we have, 600,000 is absolutely outstanding.
Yep.
And then the price point on this one is 750,000. And so you can even be up in the hills for 750,000, which yes, that's not affordable, but to be in the foothills like this, to get a price like that is more affordable than I think most people would assume.
For sure, I can't think of any other community like this. I mean, like Cartwright Ranch would be an example, but to get something of this quality, of this size at 750, killer deal. And then again, from the 400s to 500s to be in Avimor, at the base of the hills, but in Avimor, not entry-level builds. These are higher, mid to higher level builders and builds. I mean, wow, the homes themselves are nice, but also the advantages of the community, huge.
It's hard to beat. So want you guys to know that it is doable out here, whether you're building, you're buying these move-in ready homes, or you're buying resale homes out here. It's something that is doable, I'd say, for pretty much everybody in Boise. I mean, most homes you buy in the city of Boise itself are gonna be in that price range too. Honestly, if you were to buy the Tresidio home that we looked at in Eagle or Star or Meridian, it would honestly be more expensive than it is out here in Avimor. So it's the same or less than it would be in the city, which you just wouldn't think. So that's the reason out here. Now, for the rating, are you gonna?
Oof, you said 8.2?
8.2.
I mean, honestly, like I said, I think you're gonna be pretty close. For 750 up here, I mean, we're splitting hairs, but I'd go just a hair higher, just because I know this foothills lot anywhere else, again, like in Cartwright Ranch, for example, which is just as far out of Boise or out of town as this area is here, you'd be adding an extra 100,000 or more. So at 8.4, 8.5.
Okay.
Just to say you were wrong. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, mid eights. This is a killer home. Amazing value, and overall just like a really, really cool community.
For sure. Sweet. Now we can go look at the King's
Castle.
Castle.
The last one.
Up on top of the hill. This one we're excited for. Backyard's awesome. I haven't seen the inside.
None of us.
So I'll give a rating without seeing the inside.
Okay.
Truth is, I've taken clients to this house, and so I had some insight, so it's probably why I was a little bit more accurate. But let's head to the coolest house out here in Avimor. Okay.
All right.
We're at the King's,
the top of the hill.
The King's house is up here, which, these are a whole nother price point. So a little bit more fun to just look at, but also for some of you, these are definitely a possibility. I know I have some clients that will probably be out here in a few months looking at these, so excited to take a look. I haven't seen the house though. Yeah, you haven't been inside, so we're gonna do our one look review or one look rating, and definitely give your guys' feedback too on what maybe you'd rate this house. And keep in mind, we're not rating it compared to the last two we've seen. We're rating it within the price range, the build style, quality, and of course the location, and just overall what this home would rate at for this price. So I know the location, I know the builder, I do know the price. Just looking at it up front, I mean, it's a big house. The garage I'm not a huge fan of. For the price point, location, size, and just the overall look of the front, I'm gonna actually give this a 6.7.
All right,
So a little bit lower, but not super low. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yep, and we'll go a little, I mean, this is a big home, so we'll go a little bit faster through. We talked about the community. We are still gonna do the coffee giveaway, but other than that, yeah, let's take a look at this available home. This really cool one next door is pending already. So yes, these are of course the top tier, especially for this community, but you're also getting, you know, a great top of the mountain, really nice 4,300 square foot home with all of the amenities and extra touches inside.
Yeah, and they saw it a little bit at the beginning, but at the end when we go into the backyard, they'll get to see
that's killer
why
too.
It's these price points. So we'll head inside.
But yeah, again, 4,300 square feet. So this is a very big home, 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, second story. So 2-story home with the master on the main level. And then just right off the entry as you come in, I mean, tons of windows. You have a huge office space, really cool ceiling design. A lot of times we see this on the wall, but I do like it, throwing it up, changing things a little bit, having it up here on the ceiling. But I mean, wow, this is a big office space.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many people would need that, but it is nice to have.
Yeah.
Notice the light fixtures right off the front. Oh, cool. Looks like there's 2 stairways over here.
Yeah,
this is all new for me.
You're going in blind, dude.
I'm along for the ride.
You're gonna have some surprises. So, yeah, and obviously we can't save the main living area for last in this case, since you're literally about to see it. But we'll head this way, then head upstairs, and then we'll go into the master bedroom last. But this is a really cool feature, and we're seeing this more and more in even affordable home communities, having this open open second story in the great room and having a little bit of a lot, like a true loft area or even like a catwalk. You know, we have some clients that have been in town recently, and you know, even builders like Hubble Homes are building stuff like this, which is really cool to see.
For sure, yeah. And this is a true 20-foot ceiling, which you don't get too often. Yeah, so cool to see. I mean, the fireplace going all the way up 20 feet with the tiling is, pretty crazy to see.
Huge
Feels
fireplace.
Really open. And I like how it doesn't feel overly sized. Like, this is a big home, but this living area still feels homey. Sometimes these big $1.5–2 million houses can feel like you're in a warehouse because it's just so open. So it's nice to feel like you're still at home. Yeah,
I would say because this one does have 4 bedrooms, multiple living spaces, this is a really good family, you know, luxury family home. Because it isn't all single level like Brady mentioned, where it's just one open warehouse with 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. Like, this actually does have a lot of livable area, and having some separation for children, you know, maybe parents, or, you know, second generation type stuff.
Yeah, and the outdoor living out here, like as a kid, especially when we get into this backyard, the trails, everything that's in Avimor, like if I was a kid living out in here, like it's the dream situation if you have a family and you have kids out here. And there is younger people out here too, which is something to know. I know every time I come out here, there is a lot of like 20 to 30-year-olds, it seems like, in the Avimor community, especially in the lower end homes. So it just builds more of that sense of community. Sometimes you can come out into communities like this and feel like it's mostly retirees, people who don't need to be to the city, but there's a lot of young professionals out here.
For sure. Yeah, for those, I mean, literally, if you were to picture a young professional in Avimor, they're younger couple with a golden retriever, and they're out hiking the hills with their dog. I mean, that's the, you know, the general vibe you might get. Obviously, 100%. There's plenty of other people, but that's kind of the picture I'm imagining. But yeah, really big kitchen. I mean, this might be one of the biggest dining areas
that's huge.
I've seen.
Yeah, like, definitely fits a large table.
You could have a double table, you know, twice as big as this even, and you'd still have room. So again, family, this one being a little bit more family oriented, I'd say. And
even if you didn't want this as a dining room, this is one of those spots where you could make it almost a secondary hangout spot for the outdoor entertaining. Just switch out the light, you know, have some couches in here that bleeds right into all these sliding glass doors that we'll open up later. But can't go wrong with any of the 1.8 kitchens, right? I mean, they're always gonna be so nice. You always have the fridge that you can't see. This one being a little bit on the smaller side, but.
Yeah, love the look of that. Just, it's so, I mean, plus the quality, obviously, of the interior. I mean, you just don't buy standalone fridges that are have a 100-pound door. Like, that thing's hefty. Yeah, really nice kitchen. Not over the top. This pantry, if we were to approve pantries, would definitely get our pantry stamp. And the organization in here, just
Did these slide out?
The cabinetry is crazy.
That's cool.
Like, this is a lot of extra cost just in cabinets and slide out drawers. But yeah, really cool pantry for those of you that buy homes based off pantries.
Oh yeah, that's always the reason. Right?
Exactly. Yep. But yeah, and then as we wander through, again, the master bedroom over here on my right, we'll save for the end. We'll loop through here. We're gonna show you the garage because that is a huge highlight for this particular home.
Yeah, big garage for sure.
Yep, finished, obviously, again, epoxy floor, so that, you know, all that comes with it. Huge RV bay. And what I really like with this one, look at how many windows there are in this garage and this little extra bump out. So, I mean, it's huge RV bay, has the extra storage, but like all the windows up here, like that's such an extra feature that you really could start to use this space for some extra living area, like a gym, you know, sports area, obviously storage.
I'm putting a basketball hoop up there, there. Yeah,
yep.
And it's already epoxied, so it's usable for a court already.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that they gave you this too.
Yep.
Little water spout in here for a hose because with the epoxy floors, and I mean, you could wash your cart in here and just push it out the
and sometimes we see the hose spigot here, but this one does have hot and cold, which is nice. So you actually could not freeze if you're washing your car in the winter.
Yeah, so I mean, 3-car garage here.
Yep.
And then, so I mean, really it's a 6-car garage if you include the RV bay. Really oversized, yeah, tons of space, nicely finished. You get the good lighting too, which is great. So it's not so dark in your garage.
So that's the garage. Let's pop upstairs and we'll meet you upstairs in the bonus room. So we're up here on the 2nd story, and obviously you can see it looks over the great room, which again, I love this feature. It's a true loft up here. But one thing that's super unique with this one, if you can look down, there's actually 2 stairways up to the 2nd story. So one off the entry and then one stairway off the kitchen. So that's kind of a cool little setup that I haven't really seen in homes, having the 2 stairways lead up to this top floor.
Yeah, especially like that too.
Yeah.
And then tons of space up here. I mean,
this is a big.
This flex space is absolutely huge. I'd be curious to see how many of you guys would actually use all of the space, especially this little spot right here. I mean, I know as kids, this is just
you're like, running around using it.
Especially like as a dad, I'd be wrestling right here and pretending to throw my kids off the balcony while my wife yells at me. But tons of space up here, not as usable right here, but that office space is nice. Could turn this into a cool like homeschooling section, I guess. But yeah, curious what you guys think of this layout. As far as flex space, because I haven't really seen a layout where you have almost 2 separate spots.
I mean, obviously this section here, and we're up here and we'll show you, there's 3 bedrooms and 2 full bathrooms on this 2nd story. But this one, a little bit more obvious. You have your 2nd living area. You have a cool little setup here. So kind of no sink, but you know, a little bar area or coffee area, snacks, you know, popcorn machine, and a full bathroom. So this is one of the 4 full bathrooms up here, which again, deck to the 9s as far as a guest bathroom goes, huge tub, tile to the ceiling, and then you have your 3 guest rooms on the 2nd story. So those 2 we'll show in a second. This one being kind of nothing spectacular in here. Really good size. You have the 8-foot doors, 9-foot ceilings. You have a good view out the front, but obviously the rooms on the other side of the home are gonna have the better Foothills view. But you know, for a a 4,300 square foot home, you have plenty of bedroom space for kids or guests, or long-term, long-term help or multi-generation living.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a cool kid's house, 100%.
And then, yeah, if I was growing up as a kid and had a bedroom this big,
Yeah.
I mean, this is
sweet. Even, I mean, yes, you don't get the cool foothill view out these bedrooms, but it's enough that, again, you still feel like you're out here in the mountains. You're not looking at houses other than to the sides, which you don't usually have windows in anyway.
Yeah.
So pretty much wherever you're at in the house, like right now I'm looking through to the other, and I can see the foothills on that side. I can see the foothills over here. So just so much mountain stuff throughout here. And this room is a master bedroom in most houses.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even the walk-in closet is really good size, definitely way bigger than most guest
I mean,
rooms.
it's full walk-in.
Yeah.
This would be the size of some master bathrooms or master closets we see.
Yep. And then another cool layout. So Jack and Jill bathroom here, really long one. Again, this is a big house, but you do have 2 sinks, one on each side for each, each kiddo or each guest, and then the door to the toilet and the shower, and then some storage there, which is nice.
Yep, and then same thing here, so nothing crazy, same as the other bedroom, a little bit different walk-in closet, but this one you get the better view, I guess, of the foothills, overlooking everything, and I like the tiered look. I know as a kid this would be where I'd put like race cars, figurines, baseball cards on one of them, whatever it may be.
Legos, trophies, depends on the era or the age, but yeah, great display little section, and again, a really cool view out the back. Yeah,
and that backyard is where, when we take you guys out there, I love the entertainment space that's already built in.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a house like this that they already thought about some of the entertainment aspects, so excited to show you guys that here in a second. But
yeah, we'll head downstairs and meet you in the master suite.
Yep.
And that's where we'll do our coffee giveaway and then show you the last little bit before we head out to the back, which might be our favorite part of the home.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So right into the master bedroom, and you do have a separate hallway. You have another closet here, and that's where this home is a little bit more broken up. It's still super spacious, obviously, but for some that want the
I'm trying to block the view.
Oh, block the view. I was like,
I can't see it.
I'm not sure you're doing enough because there's windows
Yeah,
this whole
it's a
wall.
whole wall. Yep. Yeah, we'll just get over into the bathroom.
But again, there are more rooms here than some of the other, higher luxury homes, like even the one next door for a little bit higher. It's going to be one big open space. So for some, you're going to love that. Some might not want it as blocked up, but overall, really cool functional layout.
Yep.
And the master bathroom, as expected, is really cool and huge.
Yeah.
So it would fit, your price point that you'd be expecting here. It does have the under cabinet lighting, the behind the mirror lighting, which is really cool too.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Obviously 2 vanities and the little makeup or extra vanity area and the standalone tub. And just wandering through here, we'll let Brady take a look since he's the shower.
I know right off the bat, it's not looking
guru.
too hot, but yeah. I'm not gonna Brady approve this.
That's what I was thinking. Yep.
Yeah, for a $1.8 million house, this is the same size and style as, honestly, like the Tresidio we were just in. So to have the comparison between this caliber of house and the $700,000 house, to have the same shower. Yeah. So it's looking more and more like my 6.7 might be right. We'll see.
And definitely an upgraded master closet. Really nice cabinetry. You have the drawers. Overall, similar to the shower, I would say a little bit smaller than you might hope for a 4,300 square foot home at this price point. But again, this one, in my opinion, was more designed for families. So you have a plethora of space where everyone else in your world is going to be living, and maybe this isn't quite the overly grand size that you might expect or some might want. So you kind of have to balance what's most important and what's a bigger requirement for you, having extra bedrooms and a huge upstairs living area, or a bigger shower, bigger closet.
For sure. Yeah. And now heading out to our favorite part of this house and why Avimor is so cool. But before we head out here, that giveaway. So for those of you who saw how many baskets were in the entryway, on the cabinet, it's on the bottom of home number 1. Comment down below how many little baskets there were there on the bottom and the word coffee, and we'll send the first 4 people who do that, we'll send you guys a Starbucks gift card. So
Was there more than one? Interesting. I'm trying to picture like that.
Yeah, see, Jesse doesn't even remember. You guys are gonna have to go back. So yeah, if you comment that number, we'll send you guys a Starbucks gift card. And then come back to see the backyard, because this is really this outdoor living Idaho lifestyle.
Yeah,
this is
what it's
fitting
about.
for all of that, right?
And this is one of 3 sliders. Your one off the dining area and the living room area are double sliders. So you have 3 access points to come, open up or have this outdoor living space flow into the inside. And I mean, this is where you don't see this on a home, under 1.2, 1.5 million. You have your pavers, which are done incredibly well. And then you have turf throughout the front and the back with, again, more pavers with really cool design, this huge gas fire pit, obviously the putting green, which since we're not doing rock, paper, scissors, maybe we should have tried to drop some putts.
See who could drop a putt. We didn't bring it, otherwise we should have.
Yeah.
And the turf is one of those things that you'll see out here in Avimor for some of the fire things, but it's also just a nice convenience thing to not have to mow your lawn, worry about watering it.
Yep.
And I love this little flower wall that they did here. It gives you privacy for your neighbors right here, but it also just looks really nice. And I like how they place this barbecue, because if I'm entertaining people, and obviously like if I own the house, I'm most likely gonna be the one barbecuing, cooking burgers, steaks up for everybody. To be able to cook and still talk to everybody is great versus like facing the wall and having to turn around. So like even just that little design thought is really cool. And you just have it built in like this. You can't beat that. This is your dream for outdoor entertaining.
Yeah, this is, especially this time of year, like this is where you're gonna be living half the time you're at least at home. And then on top of that, and this is where reviewing your rating is going to be tough, because it's really hard to value this.
Yeah, it is.
It's really hard to value this because you just don't get that at all. We're very often out here, and of course you do pay for, of course, this view, but yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the hiking trails up there, and where my mind goes is as you're entertaining with that RV garage, having your ATV or a couple side-by-sides, where the kids or teenagers can go grab the UTVs, ATVs, go up in the hills, come back, hang out, go to the pool at the community center, go fish the pond, and you just take the ATV down to the community center. You don't even have to drive, right? Like, just all of the outdoor experience that you have out here, you just can't beat.
Yeah,
Especially this close to Boise. I know it's farther, but if you want mountain living where you can take your ATV out, for the most part, you're gonna be 30, 45 minutes away from Boise. And so relative to everything else, it is close with everything you get.
Exactly, and we're not that far out. I mean, literally right after this, we've got a lunch meeting with our team, and we're gonna be in the village in 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, depending on Eagle Road. So you're still, you're still really close comparatively to all the stuff that you're gonna need.
100%. But if this is a house that is too far away for you guys and you wanna see something similar with a view that is pretty close, but you get a view of the Boise River, check out this video here. Me and Jesse tour Star Point. It's on the border of Star and Meridian. You get a very similar feel. You get the views, you get the affordable options, and you have the options for these luxury houses. Hope to meet you guys in person. Appreciate you guys watching.